What's up, everybody? I want to talk about an industry that I foresee in the future is going to be very important. Pretty much because it takes everything that business is for, everything that products are for, and it wraps it all into one. And I truly do think that now we're not talking so much trading, we're talking more investing long term. If we're talking about investing for the next 5 or 10 years, I definitely think this is the area to look for. This is something that if you're going to make an investment, a long-term investment in a company, you have to look for this specific thing. So that thing is automation. I think that when it comes to long-term growth in a company, it's going to stem from automation. And what I mean by that is not so much them automating their processes, but creating products that automate consumers' lives. The reason why is if you actually look at business principles, one of the main business principles is solve a problem, right? If you're going to start a business, that business has to solve a problem in society. That's good business tactics, right? So if you take that and you put it on steroids, you get automation. And what I mean by that is everything nowadays, every single product that comes out is just an innovation of a previous product, and it does it better, it does it more effectively. There are very little or very few new products available, at least currently. There will always be new products, but when we're looking at the digital age, every time you see an increase in something, it's because it does it faster. Or it does it really, if you look at technology, it's all about speed for the most part, and of course beauty. So why are these things important? Well, because speed in a sense automates consumers' lives. It makes them have to do less work if they have to wait less time. It provides free time. So I guess another way to say this would be provide free time to consumers. So all these different industries, whether it's technology, whether it's cars and automation and automated cars, Tesla is actually looking at for their new models, and when they release software, they're going to have, they want, at least currently it's a want, if they enable this or not, we'll see, but they want to have software in their vehicles that a person can buy maybe 5 or 6, 7 or 8 Teslas and can automate those Teslas to provide ride sharing like Uber, etc. So you could actually have a fleet of Teslas making you money almost like rental properties, and you don't have to do anything besides buy the actual Teslas and run them. So everything stems back to automation. How are people going to automate consumers' lives? So we're not talking trading, because when I trade, I don't care what the company does. I trade based on the chart. But if we're talking long-term growth, if we're talking what stocks should be in your retirement account, what stocks should be, what's up, Luther? I believe that's you. Yeah, how you doing, my buddy? Hope all is well. Hopefully you're still learning. Hope you're still learning trading. I hope you're doing well. Hope work is good. But anyways, so automation. It just that's the direction we're going to. If you look at some of these futuristic movies, like Star Trek, really Star Trek is the one that comes to mind. Nobody works in Star Trek. Everybody works, quote unquote, because they're good at it. But money doesn't exist. And if you look 1,000, 2,000 years into the future, I think that would be the best place for society. Would be that everything is automated through robotics, through artificial intelligence, where nobody has to work anymore. So why do people work in the future? People work not for money, but for credibility, or for to be looked upon, to be recognized. I definitely think we're heading in that direction. Now, of course, I am talking 1,000 years in the future, but currently we're at the baby stages of that, and things are starting to become automated. If you look even 100 years ago, everything that we do goes towards creating a better quality of life. I mean, why does anything exist? Why does the government exist? Why does medicine exist? Why does business exist? The true reason is, if you really look at it, it's to create a higher quality of life for society. Really, if you really think about it. Now, of course, or to create a higher quality life for that individual person. Now, pretty much when I say automation, you guys have to understand. Of course, we're in a. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Lou. But when we're talking about current stages, of course, it's not going to be fully automated. But what I want to get across is look at the companies that are automating. Look at the companies that are moving forward in automation. Amazon, okay, with their drones, with their entire warehouses, their process to actually their logistics or their supply chain management. Look at Apple. Okay, Apple wants to create. I was upset at Apple when I don't use Apple, but I was upset at Apple when they removed the headphone jack from the iPhone 7. But when you start to look at what they're trying to do, they're trying to create a phone without any ports. No charging port, no headphone jack, nothing. So really they want to automate all aspects of your life. You buy AirPods, you put them in your ears, you can leave them on, whatever. You just have them. Okay? A completely portless phone. That means you walk into your house. They want to. I truly think Apple wants to get to the point where you walk into your house and your phone automatically starts charging. I really truly do think that Apple wants to get to that point. Okay? Why? Because it automates people's lives. It's one less thing that you have to do. It's one less thing that I have to do. Why is Google Home? Why is Google Home so popular? Why is Android's Alexa so popular? Or excuse me, not Android's. Amazon's Alexa so popular? It automates your life. You don't have to search anymore. Hey, Alexa, what's the weather going to be like today? What's the weather going to be like tomorrow? What's the traffic on my way to work? It's just ways of automating people's lives. Really, computers in general, that's all they are. If you really think about it, we could do everything by hand. You can do Excel spreadsheets by hand, but it would take hours and hours and hours. It's just automation. Everything is automation. It's making people's lives easier. That's just how it is. So if you want to invest in the long term, we're talking your retirement accounts, or we're talking 5 or 10 year investments. Make investments in companies that are at the forefront or that are at the bleeding edge of technology and of automation. You have to make investments in companies that are at the bleeding edge of automating people's lives. In my opinion, those are Apple, Samsung, Google, Amazon, Tesla for sure. If that becomes if they automate, not only do you have to stop going to gas stations with Tesla, think about that. Yes, you're saving the environment, but think about that. That's one less thing you have to do. Especially if you're traveling more than 300, 400, 500 miles a day, then yeah, if you're something of that nature where you're always mobile. But if you always come back to home base every day, think about it. That's one less thing you have to do with Tesla. Think about that. If they create fully autonomous self-driving cars, and every car on the road, now we're talking 10, 15, maybe 20 years into the future, but if every car on the road is automated, less accidents, less deaths, that means a less toll on the healthcare system, and you can automate your life. I can literally sit on my car, put in the GPS where I want to go, and now I can get on my computer, especially if I have Wi-Fi through a mobile hub on my computer. It's just digitizing everything. They say today we have the equivalent of 80 servants or 80 slaves that people back in like the Egyptian times or the Roman times, etc. We have about 80 servants working for us just by the technology that we have around us. That is insane. Think about it. Our washing machines, our drying machines, dishwashers, vacuums, everything stems at automating people's lives.